This is John here with a Stock Sense recap of the stocks that we had been watching for trading today. First, I want to talk about the SPY and where we are at right now. We can see that today it looks like we got a little bit of a bounce here, and we're starting to kind of push back up. It looks like we might be headed back up to maybe this 10-day moving average, maybe even back up to the 50-day moving average. That's a possibility. I would be really cautious if we get a bounce all the way back up to these areas. We start to see these moving averages come down into this area, and I wouldn't be surprised to see price come up, touch those moving averages, and then maybe back off of it. So that could be a good short setup if that occurs. So right now, it's looking like I would expect some more buying towards the rest of the week. I think we could see this stock or this market continue up higher. Want to go over one of the other stocks we were watching, MGM. We're going to go ahead and look at the daily time frame at first. So like I was saying earlier, I really like the way this is setting up. It looks like it's creating a nice big base here. And on Friday, I had gotten a little worried about it as we had sold off pretty hard, but it looks like we reversed and we came right back up to that area. One thing to note is we are still below the 5-day moving average in MGM. I think we're sitting right at it we're just above it. It looks like the 5-day moving average might be starting to slope sideways, and maybe it can start going up here in a little bit. I would like to see the market come up, test this level of resistance up here, and then maybe have a little bit of a pullback, test that 5-day moving average, which will start to slope upwards, test that moving average as support, and then go. And then once it breaks this level right here at 1239, we can buy this stock, MGM. So I would definitely keep MGM on the lookout. Again, this is a 15-minute chart if you guys weren't paying attention. So this is setting up pretty good. I like to see that it bounced back up, and it's just above the 5-day moving average. Again, tomorrow, though, we could get some more selling, and we could see this stock pull back drastically from that 5-day. And if that occurs, I would just not look at this. Set your alerts for this price level until the price gets back around this area. I wouldn't consider this for a buy, but definitely keep an eye on it. All right, I want to start talking about ALD. ALD was another one that we were watching, and we were watching it for a potential long. We'll go ahead and zoom out here. ALD didn't really have too much action today. If you had bought this today, you really didn't make anything. It definitely wasn't the day to buy it. Again, it still looks like it could be developing. It could be setting up for a push higher, but it's not there yet. So we want to still keep an eye on this one. I'll go ahead and zoom in on the 15-minute so we can see that 5-day moving average. Looks like the 5-day moving average is still sloping upwards, but price is below it, so we got to be cautious about that. Again, we want to see price jump above that 5-day moving average, and honestly, if price jumps above this 430 level right here, I would buy this stock and put a stop right here at about 420. And we could make a good amount of money off of this. If we can get back above that 430 line, I don't see why we couldn't see a quick move all the way up to maybe this area, maybe 450. So that's about 30 cents on a $5 stock. That's a pretty good move, almost a 10% move right there. And then after that, I think you could keep holding this. So an early entry might be developing if we can get ALD back above the 5-day moving average. All right, I want to go to the next stock, and the next one on the list was WMB. I had suggested this as a long-term buy, and the reason why was because of this really nice uptrend line that we saw here. I'll go ahead and draw that for you. A real clear uptrend line, and it looked like price was just about to hit it on Friday. And sure enough, it looks like we got a really nice bounce. We gapped up and started over. I'll zoom into a 15-minute time frame. And we can see we gapped up, and then we kind of just went sideways. I wouldn't be surprised to see this to continue higher. Again, we still have a declining 5-day moving average, so be cautious going long on this stock. I think you might be risking it a little, but you could probably go long above 2150. So again, if we see this stock go above 2150. You could purchase it for a long, and then I would put your stop right under this level at at about 2120. About 2120 would be a pretty conservative stop. And then I think we could probably get a push up to the 5-day moving average at least, and then maybe even break that 5-day moving average and continue higher. I definitely think this is going to be a good buy because of the strength that it's had recently, and again with that uptrend, I think we could definitely see a retest of the levels up in here. So WMB looks like a good buy. Just remember to keep your tight stop. Keep your stops tight, I should say. All right, I want to go over WFT, which was a short play, and that just didn't work out for us because the market was doing too well today. We can see that it found support, and like I was saying yesterday, this stock could definitely find some support, and you don't want to sell it short unless it breaks this level at 1557, 1560. So this might even be a long play. You could even start to consider this as a long play, as it looks like we're starting to develop a good area of support right here. Zoom into the 15-minute time frame. And we can see we are above the 5-day moving average, so that is a definite plus. I think if we can get above this area at 1646, 1650, if we can continue up there, I think this might be a good buy and go ahead and set our stop basically at the 5-day moving average. If price breaks the 5-day moving average, you want to get out of this with a small loss. But I think we could see this stock push up, and I don't normally like to say this, and I don't normally like to play off of this, but there's a chance that we could fill this gap, where we could see price go all the way up and fill this gap. But I definitely don't. I don't play off of gap filling. I know a lot of people say gaps are always filled, but the truth of the matter is, they might always be filled, but it might take 1 to 2 years before that gap is actually filled. So let's not think about this as filling the gap. Let's just think about this area as a possible target, possible area where we might see some resistance if this stock gets going. Another one I want to talk about was Flextronics. I had suggested Flextronics as a possible short or long. Again, if we saw price break down further, if we saw it break this 631 area, 630 area, we were going to sell this short. Obviously, that didn't happen, so you shouldn't have sold this short at all. But it looks like it's starting to find some support, so we might now want to consider this stock as a potential long. Again, we still have a declining 5-day moving average, so I really wouldn't look at it until we break above that 5-day moving average. But this could be a potential good long if this area starts holding as support. I want to also talk about ACAS. We had mentioned yesterday. ACAS looks like it broke down completely. I thought that this little consolidation on lighter volume was going to be a little developing area for a launch pad, a nice place for the stock to go higher, continue higher from there. But it's clear that it just completely broke down. Don't pay attention to this one anymore. It was just bad play, bad pick. So let's move on to the next one. MGM I had already talked about, and ALD I think I had already gone over. So I think that's about it. Again, just to mention SPY, we're right up against that 5-day moving average on the SPY or on the broad markets. So maybe, if we can see this market push above that 5-day and the 5-day starts to slope out and continue higher, maybe we might see some more buying. I think you could go long this market as long as you keep a really tight stop. Keep your stops underneath this area. I'll be back with a couple more videos later, and I hope this helped you guys out. Looks like buyers are trying to regain control, so let's give the benefit of the doubt to the buyers for now, but just always remain cautious, and good luck trading tomorrow.